I mean, I'm assuming with the appreciation, if you held on to a Hawaii property for 10, 15 years, like you were saying, if you can't move into that place, at least you got some good loot to move somewhere else.
Exactly.
Maybe buy the whole state of Utah.
Maybe.
Are vacation rents going up out there?
You know, that's a good question. It's yes, but it kind of depends on the market. As I mentioned when we first started talking, we work on 4 islands. Vacasa works on 4 islands here, and due to recent legislation that has happened on, let's say, Oahu, for example, it's really changed you know, what people are getting for rents, and we can go into that maybe on another episode.
If you would come back, I would like.
Yeah, sure. But yes, sticking back with Maui, like I said, you know, Maui's a very a mature market. This legislation's been in place for long enough that everyone knows how it's affecting our rents, and so I would say they stay pretty competitive. You know, we're not building a bunch of new hotels out here. There's not a bunch of new inventory. Inventory is what it is because it's in a certain zone. So it's not like we're adding thousands of units on an annual basis and flooding our market more than we have. It's a very, you know, finite amount of properties that can be used as short-term rentals. And so, you know, yes, our rates do go up over time and with, you know, inflation and everything else that happens, but again, that's another reason why appreciation also is so favorable here, because we can't just continue to add units. First of all, we're an island, there's no space. But second of all, right, I think that Hawaii does a really good job of making sure that this is an appropriate use of this land in this area so that the rest of the people who enjoy living here can also live a life that isn't necessarily always someone else's vacation. Right?
Yeah. What are the predictions for Maui coming up in the next couple of years?
You know, I only can speak to what I hear, the rumors on the street, right?
Right.
You know, from what I know of the market here, everyone always says we're several years behind the West Coast. So if California's market starts to take a dive, give us at least 2 years. So we do have a nice kind of insulation around us. But to be honest, I think that most people are pretty optimistic. I mean, we're still seeing, you know, like I said, inventory is flying off the shelf for at listing price, over listing price, and no signs of a slowdown on Maui.
Yeah, and I assume, I mean, I can't, that's an ugly word, but I don't think whenever a recession comes around, if it comes around in the next year or so, it's not going to be like,
right.
Oh wait, not even close.
I've heard that universally.
Flat, if anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. In fact, you know, I just had a client in August. We were in escrow and they decided to cancel because they were worried about the economy. And in fact, we're now in escrow again because they called me up and said, we watched the property we were in escrow sell for full price. And it went really quickly after we canceled that escrow. We know that we need to buy now. And so,
without calling your people out, because I want my people to hear this, how much money did they lose from the first purchase to the second purchase?
That's a good question. I have not actually thought about that.
I'm assuming in a hot market like that, they lost money. And maybe not, and hopefully they didn't, but that's what I see happen. Like, oh, you know, we want to sleep on it, or we got cold feet.
10 grand.
They go back in, there's 5 or 10 grand.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 grand, but.
Wow. Okay. Well, now they're 10 grand smarter. There's a nice little college education. Christie, when people do come out there to visit you and they want to, they buy a property from you, or they have a property and they need it managed, how do they get a hold of you?
Call me, email me, text me. Yeah, just look up Christie Dille. I'm all over the place. But yeah.
Could we get, because I'm going to put this on a podcast also, could we get your phone number?
Sure. Oh, yeah. My cell phone's 808-264-3508.
All right. And your email?
It is Christie. I'm going to spell it afterwards. Christie.Dille@vacasa.com. CHRISTIE.DILLE@VACASA.com. Vacasa.
You spelled Christie because I butchered that already.
Yeah, you did. I made fun of you for it, though, so we're good.
I went to school in California, so it's really not my fault whatsoever.
Oh.
One more time with your phone number, please.
808-264-3508.
Right on. Thank you, Christie, so much for coming on. Thank you for agreeing to come back. We have this recorded, so this is a verbal contract. It's even more verbal contract because it's so you have to come back and tell us about the other islands.
For sure. I'd love to. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Thank you again so much.
You're welcome.